All right, so getting to some contract news just before we get to the finish up the round previews. So I'll throw back to you, Isaac. So Tallyn Silva to the Eels immediately. Now, I know you love talking about players leaving the Tigers. So what do we think about this? So that's 2 for the year now.
Yes, and look, while I had a sneaky suspicion that the second Tigers player to leave the club this year would also go to the Bulldogs, he has decided to stick to his word and go to the Eels, unlike Lockie Galvin a couple months ago. But look, no, this is an amazing deal for the Eels. Now the reports are he's on an average of 650,000 per year over the next 4.5 seasons. Now that could be potentially front-loaded or back-loaded, we're not sure. But look, it's an average of 650. Potentially a slight overpay for a guy who wasn't cracking the Tigers starting side. But no doubt that Tallyn Silva has a world of talent and could be essentially a premiership winning hooker if all goes to plan. Looking at it from the Tigers' perspective, it's a weird one for them. Now, obviously, when they let Lockie Galvin go, they had Latu Fainu, ready and roaring to come in, and that has just paid dividends so far. He's been an absolute he's turning into the star that we all knew that he would. A bit of a different situation with the Tigers. Now, from my understanding, they could have kept him, but they decided to go with Appy, who is, I believe, 33, 34 years old. He's not young. So they've decided to go with Appy Coruscant over Tallyn Silva, and that's why they let him walk, which I think probably wasn't the right call if the Tigers are wanting to stay competitive over the next 10 years. Now, they've obviously got Hayward and Tristan Hope coming through the ranks, who are both fairly, well regarded in that hooker space. But I don't know if they're going to reach the heights that I think we expect the Silva to reach. Flipping over to the Eels, I think it's an awesome move. Now, they've obviously just opened talks. I don't know if it's official yet, but they've opened talks to re-sign their current hooker and Riley Smith, who's been a gem that they've unfounded this year. I think that creates a healthy competition for spots between the two hookers, Darren. But it's definitely something to watch over the next few years. I think that this is a great move for the Eels moving forward, and I think that we can see, this spine at the Eels really do make some noise in the next few seasons.
Yeah, I think they've slowly been building a few pieces that are going to help them long term. And Lee, I guess the cultural component for the Tigers, yes, they don't get a lot of compensation for the players they've left, that have left, but how do you balance the loss versus the club effectively saying, look, you're either on the train or you're not on the train? Is there a positivity that comes through that in the sense that we're all rowing in the same direction? If you don't want to pick up an oar, see you later?
In terms of the Tigers, Rome was not built in a day. But that's because I wasn't on that particular job. But the Tigers take 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back, don't they? 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I think they're 6 losses now on the trot. It's such a tough situation. And again, if winning premierships was easy, if getting in finals was easy, then everybody would be doing it. And the Tigers have been an average performing team for many years, and it's going to take some turning around. The Tigers need results now, too. And that's probably the choice with regards to Appy Coruscant. And I also think that Appy, with Jerome Luai, is probably creating that very DNA, that very culture that Tigers are trying to instill in the club. So last week we mentioned the young kid who's moved on, and we suggested maybe go out on loan, and we talked about the Harry Grant situation. That's not occurred, and he's gone. The Tigers can't keep doing this. They've got a history of doing this. Tedesco, Brooks, Moses, all left. So, it's a worrying thing.